Oh yeah, we're back. Everybody wants to know the answer to this question. Can Hollywood movies make you holier?
Keith, what do you think? Keith, take the floor.
Keith, go. Delta team. I really want to know the answer to this question. Keith, I'm going to let you start out because Cameron needs a breather after that last segment.
Yeah, he's hurting a little bit over there.
He's hurting.
That's okay. I think, I mean, it's kind of, to me, I would say yes, they can. Because it's not about the objective thing of the movie. It's about what is going on in your heart when you're watching it and how film has a way of connecting with you below the surface of the walls that we build up, I think sometimes, and challenge us in ways that we're not always prepared to deal with. And I think that when I was looking at some of these different films that we were talking about, I was kind of asking myself, what are my presuppositions going in? And there's nothing like a good film that can get you to dig into your own mind and think, how would I behave in a situation like that? And I think sometimes that gives you the opportunity to, in some way, role play a situation to where you would go, all right, what would I do if I had to pretend to be a priest? What's the moral thing to do here in a situation? There could be something in your life that lines up with that sort of dilemma that because the movie churned that up in you, gives you the opportunity to think ahead of time and say that's a moral or immoral thing to do.
For me, okay, at first when I saw this question, I'm thinking, okay, there's no possible way a Hollywood movie can make us holy.
I knew you were going to say that. I just knew it.
You knew it, okay.
I knew it.
But
as soon as you see the word Hollywood, like something rises up in you.
I just want to take a knife to it and cut it up. But I think about some of the movies that I've watched.
Yeah.
And what happens with me is sometimes a great Hollywood movie, and I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to
Flight Plan.
Require, that's not it. I'm going to require you to also give me examples. A great movie can show me, oh my goodness, that's me. Like, that's me.
Yeah.
And I need to change myself. So I'm going to go first.
Oh my gosh.
And say, Soul did that to me.
Pixar's Soul.
Pixar's Soul did that to me.
Yes.
It was like, oh my goodness, that is totally me. I'm doing all these things, but I'm not just watching that leaf fall from the ground. I'm not being, I'm like, kids, clean your room instead of, oh, there's a mess. And
or chasing the prize, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that prize is, and then forgetting the present moment.
Or the present moment, or the fun of the journey getting there.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, well, we've got all these darn kids. Like, they're amazing. I guess that's the example that I take because for me, that's the double-edged sword is I want everything to be neat and orderly, and you're not going to get that with a bunch of kids. So at any rate, that's what I see as like a great Hollywood movie can open up my mind to say, Tony, that's totally you, and you'd better change. I really thank you for recommending and watching Soul with me because I thought that was phenomenal. So
and you love jazz too.
I love jazz music. So that was double awesome. What do you think? And give me an example of a movie that has affected you.
I think another way to phrase this question is like, does a movie have to be explicitly holy, like talking about holiness?
That makes it worse to me.
Yeah, I hear that.
For sure.
So a Hollywood movie is kind of a big umbrella, right? I mean, you mentioned Pixar. I guess it's kind of, it's more on the periphery of what a Hollywood movie is. It's not made at us. Well, it's near Hollywood. They might be are they in Hollywood? No, they're in California, but not in Hollywood.
Yeah, I would still call that a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, it's the spirit of Hollywood. Like I think what we're saying is like secular films make you sanctified or holier. I think an example for me would be The Lion King. I've seen that movie like nearly 20 times probably from when I was a kid and just rewatching it to watching it now. And because it's a film about responsibility and like it's easier. Like there's a part in me that wants to not take the risk and just play it safe and sing a Hakuna Matata and eat my little pudgy worm alone.
Wow.
I don't know. That's a weird image. But just like not take on the responsibility of being a king, right? Like, and every man is a king of his domain.
That's right.
Whatever your domain is. And so that is a film that, like, wow, I see, since I was a kid, I saw myself in Simba. And also my dad passed away, you know, pretty recently. And so 2018. So that, you know, is a new, fresh take on it. But yeah, that would be an example of just, it's a lion movie. It's not explicitly about becoming holy. And maybe that's kind of what there's an umbrella of Hollywood movies, but then there's an umbrella under holiness, because holiness is like this unified pinnacle, right?
Sure.
Or
yeah, holiness is
union with God.
Exactly. Union with God. I'm doing the will of the
But then there's all these rays that come out from it. And one of those is responsibility, like be a man, you know?
I think that's what, nobody's saying, can a Hollywood movie help you to grow in prudence? Because that's the virtue that guides all other virtues. I mean, I'm sure there could be, and it doesn't have to be, oh, well, I saw this monk.
Well, like with Soul, it's like a movie about gratitude. It could be defined as that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Practicing the presence of God.
And if we don't have gratitude, we're not going to have humility. We're not going to grow in faith. We're not going to grow in prudence, temperance, justice, and fortitude. We're not going to allow ourselves to receive the grace to grow, for God to allow us to grow in faith, hope, and charity. I think that's what it boils down to is that it doesn't have to be this overtly holy thing. And, you know, like, oh, I'm on cloud 9 because I feel so holy. Like, that's not it at all. That's not it at all. So I totally agree with your point, Keith, is that it's actually not the holy movies, not those ones about, you know, like A Man for All Seasons. You had mentioned that you haven't seen it. We've seen A Man for All Seasons.
Well, you've seen The Passion of the Christ, right?
Sure, yeah.
So that's explicitly a holy movie.
Absolutely.
That's in a good category by itself. But like, I think about movies that, see, the difference to me is a movie that is made to preach to me a specific message takes the subjectivity out of it to where it's no longer about churning up my heart. Mm-hmm. It's about me receiving this blatant message, which in all the goofy Christian cheesy movies, we already know that message, you know, and then you might say, well, what if somebody didn't? Okay, great. But what a good Hollywood movie can do that can help you become holy is help you to interpret things that are happening in your own life and cause you to think again about things. Like, I was trying to think of an example for me of a movie that you could say has made me holy.
Flight Plan,
that,
probably.
You know, Flight Plan. Yes, exactly. Or at least helped. And to me, the one I keep thinking of, and it might be a little bit goofy, but I think about Rudy, you know, because I relate to Rudy, you know, in some ways. And I think about, here's a guy who never gave up.
That's right.
Who never quit.
That's a good point.
When everybody around him was like, dude, you're not qualified to do this. That's the part I relate to. You know, you're not qualified to be here. What are you doing?
Right.
But he was so singularly focused with, this is my mission. This is what I want to do. And I think if we think about our faith, sometimes we can be like, you know what? It's so easy to quit in our striving for holiness. It's so easy to quit in our faith. It's so easy to quit in our desire to be good men. And then when you think about this guy, Rudy, it was so simple what he did. Yeah. But that's so hard for us to do. So sometimes it's like looking at that and that motivation to say, I don't want to quit either, man.
Yeah.
I want the angels in heaven going, Keith.
Yeah.
Keith.
Put Keith in.
When I'm like being tempted by the devil, you know, and I'm like cheering me on, you know, so I won't do that. You know what I mean?
So true.
Sack him, sack the devil.
Right. So true.
I don't know how the analogy breaks down eventually.
Now, we're going to bring movie night back.
Family movie night.
Family movie night. Even though I'm not sure about this movie, I will say that the only way to watch this movie
there you go.
is with VidAngel. And you want to go to vidangel.com and you want to use promo code CRUSADE because you don't want all those nasty things on the left side of your screen. You're going to want to go to vidangel.com and use promo code CRUSADE. It's going to help us. It's going to totally help you. And you can watch any movie. that you want, even the ones that we're going to rank. So go to vidangel.com, use promo code Crusade. That's promo code Crusade.
Here's some pushback, or maybe give me some nuance, because I know that the filmmakers of Rudy knew that the message was never give up.
Yeah.
So they're delivering a message to you. It's not all subjective to say like, well, what do you think it means? And what do you think it means? Like, there is an intention behind it. Like, this is a film about never giving up.
I think that's different from like the Christian cheese movies.
Yeah.
Because the Christian cheese movies are all about, you need to accept Jesus Christ, your personal Lord and Savior, and be the spiritual head of your household, and be an elder at the church and volunteer for Vacation Bible School. Like they get like all those things, all of that specific stuff. You know, I mean, I can give some examples, but like
that's true.
You know, they don't just kind of go with the whole. You know, like I'm thinking about like Signs, where at the end, you know, like wow, somebody did say like that's a very movie. Like that's just like a nod to the fact that there's always a plan, even with having asthma.
Yes,
an alien might try to shoot poison in you, you know, and you're saved. Versus like someone like literally sitting across and a preacher says, here's what you need to do. Let's bow in prayer. You know what I mean? Where it's that blatantly obvious. So those more general concepts of never quit. But you know, to me, I feel like you're going to get there with Rudy, and they wanted you to, but they don't get you there because some guy sits Rudy down and tells him he needs to never quit. Like he discovers that and he suffers through that.
That's a good point.
And that's what we relate to.
Yeah. Well, the way that Andrew Stanton, one of the Pixar writer-directors who directed some of the Toy Story movies and Finding Nemo, he said you never give the audience 4 as an answer. You always give them 2 plus 2.
Wow. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And so in those examples, it's like bow your head and pray. Is like, why do I need a movie to tell me what my uncle is telling me or whatever it is? It's like so blatant. They're telling you the answer. Whereas Soul or Rudy or Lion King is like, you put it together. And it's more meaningful because you're the one who put it together in your head, right?
Yeah.
And it sticks with you longer.
So here's something that's on my mind. I don't know what we didn't get a chance in the intro to talk about Keith in your background, but we were in the car from the airport, and that was an amazing hour, by the way, to learn about Keith Nestor. So this is my synopsis on Keith Nestor. Protestant.
The Keith Nestor movie.
This is the Keith Nestor movie. Protestant. Dad was a pastor. You were a pastor. You were hook, line, and sinker doing your thing.
100%. Yeah.
And then God tapped on your shoulder through the Blessed Virgin Mary, planted some seeds. Those seeds chilled with you for a while. And then literally so many awesome, crazy things happened to you. And then you didn't dismiss it. You hit it face forward. You convert. And your family. So you and your wife convert to Catholicism. And now the work that you're doing is tremendous because it's about, hey, I'm trying to help those recent converts. I'm trying to help people who are thinking about converting to Catholicism and the recent converts, which is totally amazing. So I just want to say thank you for doing that. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. Everybody knows about Keith Nestor because I had no idea who you were. And then when you're telling your story, I'm thinking to myself, this is amazing. But talk to me about film, and has it changed for you? Because in you telling me your story, you became Catholic because you had those questions of authority. Yeah. You had those questions of like, well, actually these people aren't that bad. I don't want to say you were trained to hate Catholics, but it sounds like that's kind of the Kool-Aid that you were drinking, right? And so you purposely opened up your heart. Things happened. You converted. But what's it been like since then? So take something like hate film. Do you view film differently now? How has that changed? Because you're using media on a daily basis. So so here's where I think this kind of intersects as I'm thinking about it and listening to you say that. First of all, thank you for that. Mm-hmm.
when I was thinking back at some of my favorite films and then laying over my own experience of conversion, here's where I see the parallel. It's not, and in one sense, you could say it was the authority issue, but the bigger piece of that was a new understanding of reality that I didn't have. Okay. When I'm talking to people who are not Catholic, that are Christians, about Catholicism, what I try to do is essentially give them the red pill, blue pill moment of the Matrix and say, this is the world that has been pulled over your eyes.
Yeah.
You live in this world that you get to create your own version of reality in a Christian sense with this book.
Right.
Okay. And this is the world that has been pulled over your eyes.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you about the real world. The real world is about Jesus, who started a church and who gave this authority. There's where that piece comes in, so that you could know the truth and walk in it. So you've been brought up with this mindset, with this veneer over your reality, this lens which you view reality that is distorted to a certain degree, which when I was thinking back on this, so many of my favorite films are about that. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Well,
And you can even say Flight Plan was kind of about that.
That's what I'm talking about, Keith. Yes.
You're what?
Let's talk about Flight Plan.
But so is Left Hand of God.
Right? Come on.
What you view as reality isn't really the full scope. Okay. And I think so much of like conversion.
But that's kind of a stretch with
It could be a stretch with Left Hand of God a little bit. But the guy was super cool. Anyway, the thing about it is, it's like the analogy that I use with this, and I think this could sort of be into film stuff. You're in a dark room, okay? And there's a night light. You can see your eyes are adjusted just enough to that light to you get a certain sense. Your eyes have adjusted. You see what's in the room. Somebody opens the door and lets in a huge flash of light, okay? At first, it's blinding. It's jarring. Whoa, I don't like that. But then your eyes adjust, and now you can see all this stuff in this room that you didn't see was there before. Oh, that makes more sense. Now I can see what that is. Okay, that's what happens when you learn about Catholicism. The light gets brought in, and it's very jarring at first, but now you have a better sense of what reality is. And then if someone closes that door, what does that feel like? You're in total darkness again. That's why you see so many people who they get exposed to Catholicism, and at first they go, oh no, that can't be true. That's too scary. I don't like that. But then it just keeps coming back because they don't want to go. They've seen the light. They don't want to go back to total darkness again. And that's what it can feel like. And I think a lot of movies do that to us, that unveil a little bit of the reality that we think is real, but they show us that we're not getting the full story here.
Right.
You know? And then when you see it, then you go, oh, now I get why the priest didn't give the homily in Left Hand of God. He didn't know it. You know? Now I get why, this one stewardess doesn't seem to know where this little girl was that she knows she saw. You know what I mean? Because she's in on the plan. So that's kind of how I think about it with a lot of these films with relation to Catholicism.
Yeah, that's
Was that too long of a sermon I just gave you here for this
That was actually perfect timing. I love it. And we still chose Left Hand of God, Cameron. Sorry.
Keith, who would play you in a movie?
Who would play me?
Yeah. Keanu Reeves.
Yes. Keanu in the 90s, baby.
No.
I did not preemptively come up with that. Just when I asked the question out loud, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
I have no idea, man. I have no clue.
You kind of have some mannerisms, though.
I would have Keith play himself.
Keanu.
Like, hey, Keith, you're going to play yourself.
I think it would be a really
a
weird
documentary.
Yes, it's a documentary on Keith Nestor. We should probably talk about that. Okay,
of the ages.
Of the ages.
You always
Keith
put of
Nestor of the ages.
It's our brand.
That's your brand. I'm trying to help you.
Of the ages.
If you liked that clip, which I'm sure you did, then check out our other clips, and don't forget to go into the comments section and hype this bad boy. Don't make me get Fat Cardinal. Hype it now.